to the Keswick Ripple podcast. My name is Graham Wilson, and one of the most dynamic parts of our ministry here at America's Keswick is our addiction recovery ministries. And today I'm excited for you to watch a testimony from Karla, who's in Barbara's place. The thing about our ministry that's so powerful is that when someone comes into one of our programs, they are introduced to the gospel of Jesus Christ. And when that gospel radically changes their heart, then they go back out into their communities, their families, and their churches, and it creates a ripple effect of God's grace in others' lives. And this is such a powerful story that we're excited for you to hear. So let's check out this Barbara's Place testimony from Karla and Allie Lang.
Hi guys, my name is Allie Lang and I'm one of the care workers at Barbara's Place, and today I'm sitting down with Karla and she's going to share a little bit about her story. So Karla, why don't you tell me a little bit about your life before Barbara's Place?
I was born in 1978 in Georgetown, Maryland. My mom and dad split up right after I was born. So I spent most of my childhood with my mom. And we were poor. We were just so poor. It was her and I. You know, we lived in homeless shelters and in the car and everything. But through all of it, it was she and I. You know, we had this, and there really wasn't much talk of God in our lives at all. When I was 9, she got really sick. She was an alcoholic, and just the effects of alcohol took its toll on her body. And so I took on more of a parental role, where I was taking care of my little sisters, I was taking care of her. And I mean, I was terrified. It was such really traumatic experience in my life. And then one day, you know, I'm trying to feed her and she won't eat anymore, and I can't get her to the bathroom, all that stuff. Finally, one day, my worst night, she was taken to the hospital. And at that point in time, all my security just went out the window, you know. I moved in with my dad, which was great. It was a very, very loving family. You know, I was surrounded by love, but I couldn't get over the heartache of my mom. You know, I thought she was dead. She wasn't dead, thank God. But I just experienced such grief for years and years and I really think that's what led me to drink. I took my first drink when I was 12. And at that time, I felt like everything was better. You know, I had a little bit of security, or like I even counted it as stability because I knew I could get alcohol. There was always alcohol in my family. It was easy to come by. So from then on, I just started, you know, got into heavier drugs. I just continued to make poor decisions throughout my life. My mom eventually got better, but she was brain damaged from it. So she moved in with me and I took care of her most of the part. Like, she was there for the birth of my first son. It was again, you know, she was right there with me. Unfortunately, due to my alcoholism, I ruined the relationship with my son's father, and that relationship was severed. I haven't seen my son because of that. So pushing on, 9 years later, I'm with another man. I have, at this point in time, I have an 11-month-old son, and I come home from work one day and I find his father dead. So here again, all my, you know, my security, everything, and that really started like a downward spiral, a bad one. I thought I was an alcoholic before. It just really kicked my addiction into overdrive. About a month later, after he died, I had a heart attack. Then his mother died. Then my mother died. Then my stepfather died. All this happened within a year and a half. So like every time I'm starting to climb out of this pit, like see a little bit of sunshine, somebody else dies. I just kept just being beat back down. And I turned to alcohol, just worse than ever. Just bottles and bottles of liquor. I was in the hospital. I was in the ICU 4 times before I came here. Like, they just didn't expect me to live, and I didn't want to live. I just was trying to get rid of this life. I had lost all that family. I lost my second son. I lost my house. I didn't care. So at the age of 40, I found myself in my 5th rehab. I had detox for 3 weeks. Like, I had to teach myself how to feed myself again, how to sign my name. Like, I really had damaged my body really severely, like just like my mom had. Just thank goodness not to that point.
Right.
I found this 5th rehab and was really comfortable there. I was settling in, and they told me about a program that they have that's a 3-month rehab. So I'm like, oh, I got this. I'm starting to feel good. I'm gonna stay here for 3 months. I'm gonna get sober. I'm gonna do this. And then they came to me and told me your insurance won't cover it. And I was crushed. Like, I had this perfect plan, and what do I do? And I remember just going back to my bedroom and crying, just breaking down and praying to God, please, they are throwing me to the wolves. I'm gonna end up dying, and I finally don't want to die. I'm gonna end up dead. I'm so scared. God, please help me through this. So, the days went on, and I'm signing forms to get into rehabs, and they finally tell me where I'm going. I'm going to this other rehab, and it's like one of the worst ones ever. I hate to say that rehabs are bad, but some of them are not good. So then the fear sets in, all over again, that, I'm gonna get killed in this rehab. People are ODing in there, everything. And I just went with it. I had to. I was trying to save my life, anything to save my life. I went to this rehab, and they had a Bible study. And I thought, you know what, just anything to get away from the chaos of these people.
Yeah.
Let me go to this Bible study and, check this out. And it was the 2nd time I was in there, and I'll never forget. I was telling my story to a lady in there, and telling her, I finally want to live, I want to get sober, and I have to make sure that I take the right path, and I'm not sure even how to go about that at this point in time. And she looked at me and she said, Karla, I know of a place called America's Keswick. It's a Christian rehab, and if you want to go, I'm gonna cry. If you want to go, Karla, I'll pay for you. And like, I get chills every time I talk about it, because everything kind of made sense at that point in time. So here I am.
Here you are.
Getting ready to graduate.
And you've learned so much while being here. I mean, you came from no church background, no real understanding of who God is, to just, being soaked in it, really. So tell me a little bit about what you've learned, and maybe some of the things that you're still learning and still struggling with.
I have learned, most importantly, that God is with me. I'm not alone. All those times, through all those deaths and everything, and I didn't think I had anything to turn to. I was wrong, and He was working in my life. I think growing up without God in the picture, I thought that if there were a God, it would be like a booming voice or a lightning bolt or something like that. And looking back, I can see that He's been here all along, and He definitely put me at BP and saved my life. And I still struggle. I still struggle a lot, just with the fact that it is a persistent. I have trouble believing that God will always be there for me. But I just keep on keeping on.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So you mentioned that you are graduating. We actually celebrated you last night, and you are on your way out today. So tell us a little bit about what your future is going to look like.
I have found a sober living back where, close to where my son lives. So I'll be able to be involved in his life. Set up with the church. I'm just really excited. I have a good group of people I can go back to, surround myself with. And of course, I'm keeping in touch with you guys.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna miss the beauty.
Absolutely.
But
so now, definitely somebody who's watching is struggling in their own way. What would you say to that one person?
You're not alone. God is with you. Maybe you can't see it or can't feel it right away, but if you seek him, he will help you through this. You don't have to be bound by your addiction forever, or just even your troubles. Maybe it's not an addiction, maybe it's just troubles. Seek him.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Karla, for sharing your story. We hope that this has blessed your heart and that you've been encouraged by Karla's testimony today.